Oh, here we are again now, and it's like no time has passed. Gazing out upon the sunset as it sinks into the night. Many times it seemed as though a given day might be our last. Face to face with certain death, yet somehow coming out alright. I don't think that we have any cause to lament, but there's quite a lot of thrilling intent, thrilling intent, thrilling intent, thrilling intent.
That's like neat or something.
Robin winces but holds her cool pose.
Shit, we're gonna need to stand up.
That was so cool.
Vanilla Peta is going to look at Hilda, and then she's going to look at the cats in the corner. You bastard. You, don't like it when I hurt your cats, do you? It'll make you stronger if they're dead. And then she pulls out the spear that you guys will remember from episode whatever.
Oh, shit, okay.
And she's going to wind it up, but instead of Night Kinging it over at Nahal, she's actually going to do a Pele kick at the bottom point of the spear and drive it forward like a rocket.
Oh my god.
You kick up the spear and you send it whistling through the air. You know there's a lot of power behind it because you just drop the woman behind you with that much power. And yeah, you send it at the cats in the corner, but faster than you thought possible, there's a hulking form in the way, and the spear sticks straight out of her back instead.
Oh.
Interesting.
Hilda, blood begins to pool and just, run down the backside of your armor. The two in the corner actually just see the spear sticking out and they both wince.
Hilda?
Yeah, I'm gonna tear you apart. As Hilda walks forward, because she can't reach behind her, she grabs the head of the spear and pulls it through her as she walks forward. And then once she gets
move.
Once she gets up here, she pulls the spear out entirely, snaps it in half, and with both broken pieces, goes to stab her in both shoulders and try to impale her into the ceiling.
Whoa!
Natural 20.
Oh boy!
Jesus Christ! Oh god! Don't fuck with the cats.
You don't hurt the cats.
Hilda, your original intent was to carry Vanilla Peta upwards through the shoulder and pinning her to the ceiling. However, Vanilla Peta contorts in an unexpected way. It's as you manage to strike the blow perfectly fine. The attack travels to her shoulder, but the shoulder pops and almost redirects it. Instead, it sort of slides more towards her chest, her neck, like the clavicle area. And instead of catching her by the shoulder and dragging her upwards, a point that would pin her arms or her entire body to the ceiling, instead you slam her into the ceiling head first, that being the optimal point of impact, and then pin her there through without getting too visceral about this, a meteor part of her body. You thoroughly, you bounce Vanilla Peta off the fucking ceiling, and, you stick her there. She's stuck.
Robin mentally puts Hilda on her list of people not to fuck with ever.
Alright. Xanthi... Oh my god. Xanthi is actually seeing red at this point. She runs up as fast as she can. Hang in there, Hilda! And she clambers up Hilda swiftly, like a goat on a beautiful mountain, and leaps off, knives in hand, and begins rapidly stabbing at the pinata-like contraption in front of her.
You begin to comically stab the body that is now just thrust into the fucking ceiling. She doesn't offer much resistance. You get the feeling she's got other problems right now.
Die, you fucko!
Soke hops back up, now thoroughly singed.
She's just gonna hop up all singed, and she's gonna take a boxing stance and just kind of beat the speed bag.
You begin to just mostly sock her in the belly, the legs, Like, it requires some jumping because she's up on the ceiling. You do so. You manage to do that thing where, like, opponents near the top of the screen, so you gotta hop up and, like, land 1 or 2 hits. Land, jump. You managed to land a few really good body blows, and then,
Body.
Hilda, you feel something behind you, like, impact you. Something soft and, like, I don't know, fucking football-sized. And you hear a whisper, okay, I'm sorry about this is gonna hurt. And, you feel her brace the wound on your back, and it doesn't feel good, but, you feel almost an immense heat on your lower back suddenly pressing through, and then from the other side of the wound, actually, almost spectral energy begins to just emit, almost like a Forcer shotgun blast, and boom! All at once, you can feel a lot of what you formerly had in your lower back reconstitute itself. And a lot of the wounded, shrapnel, gross bits that's a result of armor being pressed into your body is fired outwards and clear from your torso.
Ooh, excellent.
Very nice.
Yeah, so from the ceiling, you see almost that same, like, inky blackness that seemed to leak from her eyes, stretch and, like, start to cover every individual ceiling tile. You all take a step back as you notice it crawling outwards, and then all at once you feel that same hunger, that inability to be satiated, but it's starting to get filled up. In a second, the entire room is covered by the abyss, the full power of a steward in Castle Crowhenge, and you can feel space itself begin to contort around you. You can tell you're no longer in the same castle that you were before. But, in that moment, you feel the weight of every single blow that was driven home over the last few minutes. You feel the power that you actually were able to impart to this creature that knew no satisfaction, and you know that something that you were doing was reaching her, because within that abyss there's a single pulse of red. Bloodlust, excitement, and you feel this great primal roar as you're driven backwards, actually thrown off your feet. Hilda behind you just hear, hey! Flies away. You manage to grab Xanthi in time as you're forced backwards out of this room. The sheer overwhelming presence of this creature driving you back. And you can tell the steward of Castle Crowhenge is now fully awake, but something else is as well. Vanillipede, you're starting to actually regain yourself a bit. That's the problem. You want to fight harder now.
I am like Vanillipede von Wertenfluff, steward of this castle. I will consume until there was, like, nothing more to consume or something. I don't know.
One after the other, you are either forced out or forcibly impact the ground of the market room. Actually, I think only one of you really forcibly impacts the ground of the market room, and she is currently back in a corner being devoured by mimics.
No!
Someone strides out. The full power of the steward warping the castle around her, but for the first time you can actually see her clearly. It feels like you've driven out some of the corruption of the... Fuck, all of the corruption of the castle. Then why is she still fighting you? Why is this still happening? So, for this next phase, we're gonna do something a little bit different. During the last fight, you guys were doing a good job of actually comboing your attacks, and Vanillipede was comboing hers. We're gonna continue on with that theme. That's gonna be the entire gimmick behind this. Brennan's running the fight, so I thought what better an idea than have combos and supers as the main mechanic here. Basically, for this next bit, every action that you can take consists of one of 3 categories. You can attack her, which will put damage on her character. You can block an attack, which will prevent damage from her. Or you can status her, hamper her, grab her, trip her up in some way. This could be anything from magic to a grab if you're Hilda, to Xanthi setting down a bear trap, really whatever you can think of as the third type of action. Now, the fun part about this is these turns are going to happen simultaneously.
Mm.
So, she gets 5 actions, your entire team gets to act once each, and you guys get to determine what order it happens in. So, if she chooses attack, and you choose attack, what happens? You both roll and the higher result wins. That attack happens.
I like this.
If you choose, say, block, and she chooses attack, you reduce the damage she deals to damn near nothing. If you choose to status her and she chose block, your status automatically succeeds and your next attack against her automatically hits.
Oh.
Attacks will always beat grabs, grabs will always beat blocks, blocks will always beat attacks. So, here's what we're gonna do. We reveal what everyone planned, which is, in this case, Robin, you sprint around trying to get behind Vanillapede, but you could tell Vanillapede had a similar plan, actually. She wanted to grab you as well.
Oh, shit.
That's
You
a
turn
tech.
around and
You tech the
Yeah,
grab.
You stare eye to eye as you tech the grab. Vanillapede, you grab Robin by the face.
Uh-oh. This is quickly going a direction I
as
didn't even
planned.
really plan for. Does Robin just get slammed back into the previous room?
Robin, you get grabbed by the face and then fucking overarmed into the previous room. Vanillapede retrieves her crowbar.
Damn!
Oh, shit.
I was gonna use that for great stuff!
Now, Xanthi, roll versus Vanillapede.
I rolled a 1.
Oh,
No!
no!
Well, Vanillapede got 12, so...
Xanthi, you run over and start to try to tip the fruit stand over. You're like grabbing every fruit you can, and you feel a fucking presence loom behind you.
Go, 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 go.
No. Do I hear the helpful click of a gun?
No!
You, what you do here is the dragging of a crowbar on the stone.
Xanthi, you are almost dead!
Oh, no.
No!
You're impacted in the back of the head and your face goes down in the cabbages. You headstand by accident and your entire body ragdolls in the gap between the two of, between the wall and the fruit stand, and you send a wave of bananas tumbling down on you.
Oh.
Meanwhile, far side of the room, Nahal's gonna raise her arms and try to blast you with, the entire fucking, the entire goddamn, stand over here.
Nice.
That is also a 1.
Oh,
Oh,
no. Like stupid cats.
Bad
Oh
day
my
for cats.
god!
Why do you have to
Okay.
roll low now?
Nahal stands up in the back of everything. Okay, this is it. I'm pissed. She raises up her arms and causes a great gust of wind to begin to whip around her. Which, she forgot most of this stand, unfortunately, is made of mimics. She remembered all the
Mimic
various...
tornado.
She remembered all the various coin mimics that she thought she was gonna cleverly fling at you. However, what she failed to anticipate was the, I guess you could call it like a tarp mimic or a canvas mimic that connects the entire top of this skull, its underside riddled with teeth. Detaching it with a great gust of wind, she wraps herself in it, tight as a cocoon, being bitten on all sides, rolls herself up and rolls across the ground.
No.
Yeah, that's fine. Vanillapede, what are you gonna do?
Xanthi's the closest.
Oh no! You flip the fucking cart of fruit onto Xanthi. Xanthi 1 HP.
As I had 1 HP, or I have...
No, you have 1 HP. Currently.
Why?
And finally, she reels up for one last attack, but boom! Suddenly there's somebody in the way. She blocks the attack and it deflects mercifully off to the side.
I love you!
You'll have to be quicker than that.
No, on the far side of the room.